tu musea.
Welcome back to Desi Mix Radio, 107.7 HD2, right here live in BC with Parmar and DJ BIG. Guys, we're going to keep this segment going. I think you had a couple questions here for now.
Oh, yeah. We were just going to actually talk about, like we said before everybody was coming back here from the break, or actually Ghana break, basically about his DJ career. He was a DJ back in the day.
That's right.
Yeah, we used to, back in the day.
So how was it? How was the scene out in PG?
It was good. Like, at that time, that would have been like the mid-90s up until probably mid-2000s. Actually, you know what? My last DJ gig was probably 2018. So, yeah, like, it was...
So, very recent
We've seen it, yeah, like, you know, it's definitely changed over time.
What's your DJ name?
You know what? I didn't really have a DJ name. Like, it was... People used to call me DJ Nuvi, and that was Gary G Money. He actually, his very first... I remember the very first time I met him, he's like, you know what? You're DJ Nuvi. So that just kind of stuck. But, yeah, like, it was... So, yeah, we did a lot of parties, things of that nature. And, yeah, it was fun, man. It was fun. We've always been playing... We've been in the music scene as well. Like, our Pops... He grew up he was in the Bollywood scene, like in India. So
really,
yeah. So he actually started Gurdas Man.
What?
So my dad was actually the guy who founded Gurdas Man.
That's
yeah. So he actually just was on the phone with him about a couple months ago, and Gurdas Man was reminiscing with him. Yeah. So So the story is, my dad used to run a
video company, right?
Video company when he got to Canada, but in India, he used to be the head music producer, like for serials and movies and things. Like he used to be part of like the Bollywood scene.
Dude, that's
so. Anyways, so people would come and audition for him, and you know they would bring. My dad's group was called House of Music at that time, and they would go all around India with different artists and like who were big time in the Bollywood scene at that time.
That's crazy. You have a huge background.
So exactly. So then Gurdas Man ended up coming to my dad's house, and like he was asking my dad. He's like, hey, I sing. And I was hoping I could go on tour with you guys and things like that. And my dad literally heard him sing once, and he brought him on tour, and Gurdas Man got his name from that.
So, what year was that in?
That was 1976 or 77.
Wow.
But yeah, and my dad said the show that he did was out in Agra, where the Taj Mahal is, and he was like, the crowd went ballistic. And he's like, ever since then, he's like, we brought him on every show with us, and then... like my dad just kind of reconnected with him just a couple months ago, and he came to our house actually in Prince George.
What?
I wasn't born yet. My brother was born,
back in the day?
He came and he spotted my dad actually in the crowd, and he told the crowd. He said, "The reason I'm here is because of this man." And then he brought my dad up on stage.
Wow!
So it was pretty like I wasn't born yet, but I hear stories all the time. But yeah, like
that's
so we've always been in the
story.
music. Yeah, so we've always been in the music scene. And our cousin, who's Harshdeep Kaur, she's in the Bollywood scene
big
as
name,
well.
Man.
Big name. So
good.
You know, so yeah, like music's always been in our blood, man. I wish I had more time for it, but it's
So,
like we produce and things like that.
I know things are slow with COVID, so do you want to join Q-Town Productions? And, should we start this thing up again?
We got to branch off. Say never.
Hey, that's a real question,
Never
man.
say
Hey,
never,
you can
bro.
join us any day.
We're in the talks about the 3v3 basketball tournament.
I would love to have you come
do.
up and DJ for the 3v3, man.
Yeah.
Next year, let's try to get it going.
This year actually, remember I
we
was
had
trying to
to
send
cancel this
somebody.
year.
Yeah, it's canceled now, but at that time I think I had a booking. But
You did.
in the future we'll definitely.
Once I have a date set, I'm definitely gonna let you know.
And any
come up,
ideas you
man.
have, man, we're down with it.
Yeah,
for sure, 100%.
Likewise,
We got
man,
your
I
back.
appreciate it.
And
Likewise,
Yeah.
I appreciate it, man. You guys have always supported me from day one.
Of course.
It's a family. It's
Yeah,
family,
of course,
right?
that's
So-
all it's about,
Absolutely,
is supporting everybody and
Yeah.
helping each other out, right? And
No,
then
definitely.
some of your favorite artists, Punjabi artists, even of all time or even today.
Producers or
If you had to
singers?
give me talk, okay, let's say,
Bindra Kiya number 1.
okay, Bindra Ki number 1 legend, kya baat?
And if we're going Bollywood, you know what? I was always like, especially we listened to a lot of Bollywood growing up as well. Hindi
yeah,
music.
crazy music.
Who would have been? There's so A.R. Rahman, obviously.
AR Beast.
Right? There's so many. Nadeem Sharvan, right? There's so like they were
Gotta
the
love
kind of the
Ali
music
Khan,
of the
man.
90s. Yeah, Nazrat,
Pata hi-
right? So
Kya baat.
like there's so many artists, right? And then, like you guys, we like the art of music, right? Like we like beats and things of that things of that nature, but we're also fans of singing and things like that.
absolutely,
Right? So-
and like we were discussing off of air earlier, right?
Yeah.
The generations, right? The
It's
feel
changed.
and the music and the vibe is a lot different
lot
from
different now.
what we're used to growing
People's
up.
attention spans are a lot lower now, right? So
Yeah, songs are getting cut
That's
to
what
like
it is.
those
Now
and
it's like the
everything on
words
here.
don't matter as long as the flow and the beat's good. It's like
nothing
okay,
is.
it's like-
I wouldn't even say anything's timeless anymore, right? Like you can't even say like it's hard for me to even think of something that's timeless anymore. Like 20 years from now, we'll still be listening to, right?
Yeah,
like
it's hard to see an artist like that now, right?
it is.
We're-
Sidhu's probably like
Oh, yeah,
because he's
yeah.
got such a cult following, but like
He got big so fast.
Exactly.
Same with Karnazza too, but Musiala has been around a little bit
for
longer.
sure, right?
So his fan base is just so big.
Yeah, and it's
Bahut zyada
but it's
badhi.
hard again. Like you said, the demographic has changed now, right? Of music fans. So
Yeah.
we'll see, man. Like we got like like we were just talking. Ground Shaker 3 will
Yeah,
be dropping.
Ground Shaker 3.
and it'll be, but you know,
Crazy.
That's big news for
music
you
coming
listeners. Yeah.
So yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. And
Any other special features on there? Same artist? Is it basically
on the
original?
track will still be Gary, and but it'll be Angrej
G
Ali
Money?
and G Money, yeah,
G-Money,
G
shout out
Money, of
G-Money.
course, and then it'll be Nirmal Sidhu and Angrej on the same track. So
Wow, with the
gonna
Aman
be-
here, Nirmal Sidhu.
no, yeah, so it'll be
G-Money.
it'll resonate with the original Ground Shaker fans, but like I said,
Yeah.
like with the new fans, it's hard to tell, right? It's hard to gauge kind
Yeah,
of what
so
the
for all
what
you
the
listeners,
following
you
is.
know, from the old school era that remember Tati Hildi and all that, it's coming back, and it's coming back in full force, and it's going to be a banger, so make sure you guys
Definitely,
stay
we're gonna need
tuned
you
to
guys
that.
to play it on the
Of
dance
course,
floors,
we're going to
man.
be playing it anyway.
Yeah.
We're going to be playing it even more now.
That's
Yeah,
it.
I remember I was in India actually, Joe. Ground Shaker 2 release was
Yeah.
that whole album, and there was a big promo around that time too. Jazzy B and
Oh yeah, Charge, yeah.
Charity, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. But I still remember buying that CD.
Yeah,
The
dude.
original had like an awesome case on it, like actual cover, like a proper case.
I miss
miss
those
those
days,
too, I
man. Dude,
know.
honestly, I was just talking about it. I miss those days of walking
It
into
cost too
like
much,
Golden
though,
Star Video and seeing the CDs laid out and actually
Hey,
choosing
like we
what
said,
you want.
generational, right?
Right,
Like, it's
and
like
you
those
miss
are the
those days, man.
blockbuster video. you know,
Yeah,
like, you
exactly.
know,
Walking into a movie
go
store and
buy
just renting a
tape
movie.
and go watch that. you
It's
know?
just man, we're old school, right? Like it's like it's
then
definitely
Nange.
changed. Yeah, honestly.
CDs, like vehicles.
When
only
did
have CD
that? So
players.
when did that scene start? Like main video and Golden Star. When did they start to kind of fade? Like, how
I
long?
think it was more when like USBs took over the CD.
Is that what it was?
I think it was around then.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
Somewhere around
I'd
there.
agree with that for sure.
Because like
Yeah.
even vehicles now, it's hard to find vehicles with CD players.
Yeah,
anymore,
honestly.
right? It's been like that for a couple
Everything's
years
Bluetooth
but-
now, right?
Yeah. exactly. Everything's Bluetooth or
Yeah.
it's a USB.
Yeah.
It's actually more efficient.
It's
than
more
a CD.
efficient, for sure.
Way
It's
more.
easier, yeah.
More data, and also it's super small.
Yeah.
It's like the size of a nail.
Well, even
right?
dude, I remember when I first DJ'd, we had the two CD players side by side. I remember you're trying to cue. You're literally trying to cue like what
Yeah,
songs
man,
come
off
next,
the
playing
CD
one.
decks, right?
Now everything's off a laptop. Like
Yeah.
honestly, it's made it so much easier from a DJ perspective as well. Because now you have you can just spin it off the like
Yeah,
the
of
MIDI.
course. It's
the
all
MIDI
laptop
platforms,
computer
right? That's all it is
generated
now,
now,
right? But I remember the days where we actually had to play the CD. Sometimes it would skip, and then you're like, you have to go
Oh,
to the
man.
next track,
And then you're just sweating, right? You're just
yeah,
stressed.
right? And you're like, yeah.
That's the thing I
People
remember.
don't
I
even
remember
know,
he drenched
man.
in sweat because I'm stressed. It's like, oh my god. right?
People don't even know, man.
tapes was even worse.
Tapes. Oh, see, yeah.
Tapes, you'd have to have like 2-3 tapes
Oh,
ready to
that's
go
funny.
with the same song on it, just in
Dude,
case they wanted to repeat.
Just
right?
2
You have to,
years
like,
ago,
rewind it, gotta- you
just
have to
2
have
years
something.
ago, I was DJing my buddy's party actually. I had an old uncle come up to me with an audio cassette tape. He's like, "Ala," I'm like, "Dude, we don't have a cassette tape here." man.
Wow.
Like, I don't know what you want me to do.
That's
with it.
crazy, man. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
man.
I've
just
had
what you-
somebody do that with a VHS tape once.
VHS tape.
Somebody
wow.
brought a
VHS?
VHS tape and he's like, "I lost on the end." Like, we
Oh
didn't have
my
it there
god.
at the hall that time.
Even if you did have one, you wouldn't be playing that.
It's gonna be bad quality. right?
Honestly, man. But no, yeah, times have changed, man.
Times are
Yeah.
and then in terms of like music, so you would say you're more like, do you find yourself listening to more of the new songs? you find yourself
You
listening
know,
to more
I
90s?
still listen to old school
Yeah,
stuff.
same.
Even on my drive here, I was bumping old school stuff, man. Like it's man.
Even at the station, we play a lot of nostalgia here,
Yeah,
right?
right?
90s,
That's,
UK Pangada.
You know what it is like, because you think back. Anytime a song resonates with you, you think that back to that time, right? So if I hear like, especially like in the club or something, like it brings me back to my high school days, right? Like, so there's always memories that are
That are
formed
attached
with
to the
certain
song.
songs that attach to certain songs, which you know it's nostalgia, right? So, but it's good.
Yeah, we were talking about earlier, you know, there's rumors going around that Bacha got a track with DJ Khaled coming out. That's going to be a big track if it's
That's
true,
big
you know?
time, man.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, we'll see what
but,
happens.
but yeah, Hoga, man, there's going to be a really big collabo there.
Well, Jay-Z with Punjabi MC was a game changer, man.
Yeah,
that was the next
a lot of
level.
people didn't
At that
realize
time,
that song came out in like 95, 96 or
98
whatever.
or 99,
something
and
like
then
that.
03 was, yeah.
And it was just, you know,
That
it
was a
was
game
still
changer,
big,
dude. That was a
but
game
then
changer.
it got way more big. Jay-Z, y'all got
Yeah,
out there, right?
that took
They
it
kind of
next
revamped
level.
the beat a little bit, but phenomenal track. Also, like worldwide known. That's probably still the biggest Punjabi mainstream song of
Let's
all
hear
time.
your top 5 producers or singers.
Man, we go through this all the time.
Let me hear yours.
Of era or like this now?
Either just what would they like? What, just any era.
Right now?
Not
right
even
now?
Just
of,
any
like,
of all time.
is a
all
different
time.
story.
Let me hear all time.
All time
Can we hear this? Not all time favorite producers of all time.
producers of all time.
Top 5.
Man, I really like Charanjit Ahuja. Is one of
Ooh,
my favorites.
old school.
Right? Yeah, old school. Dave Tariqianwala is one of my still my favorite writers of all time as well. But then I really like some of the new guys too. Like listen to like Rav Hanjara's lyrics are really good. Right? There's so many. Obviously, Dr. Zeus is still one of my favorite producers. Punjabi MC, he's up there too.
You know what?
Bali Sagoo too. I was
Bali Sagoo, yeah.
right. There's a lot of these guys.
It's crazy the longevity that they've had. Though.
Honey Singh,
Right?
Honey Singh,
Honey Singh.
still one of my favorite.
You know him,
producers.
don't you? You know him.
No, I don't know him.
Oh,
Man.
okay. I thought you knew him.
I met him.
Oh, okay,
That's
okay,
it.
okay.
Briefly, no, man.
That
But we might. Who knows?
it is Gona Chodia still here?
I'm not even sure. That's old
He
school.
was. He's a good writer. That guy's written some. Yeah.
This, yeah, typical man for me,
Typical.
pretty much, right? Like,
Those are legends, man.
what about yourself? Like,
Well, of course, Zeus, PMC. Well, you know, Amarjeet Sidhu has to be up there. Kamali.
for sure.
That's up there. RDB.
RDB for sure.
Classic.
Yeah, they changed the game.
Sanj.
Sanj
would be
could
up
do
there with me. It's been, again.
Recent, I would say the kid.
Yeah, the
He's
kid
killing it, yeah.
nowadays.
Kid's just killing
the
it.
kid's
bro,
killing
with
it.
Yagana.
right
He's,
now.
he's coming up with so many
The kid
tracks.
is killing it, honestly.
Yeah, Deep Jandu even too,
Deep
right?
Jandu.
They come
Oh,
out
now you
with-
got AP Dillon guys, right? So
Yeah,
all these
they're doing
guys
AP
their
Dillon
thing.
guys are doing awesome. Like,
Right.
big shout out to AP Dillon, Grinda
Nicky
Gill, those
Singh,
guys.
all these
yeah.
guys, right?
Yeah, I think it's only gonna get bigger for those guys from here
It's
on.
good. It's good that Canada is starting to take in every genre. Like, you know, in the English scene, you got Weekend, Drake kind of running the
Their whole
scene,
Toronto
right?
gap, right?
Right? And
Yeah.
it's good. Canada.
I feel like we need to step our game up as a West Coast, right?
Yeah.
Like, we need. This is why I like AP Dillon and Grinda Gill, those guys. I feel like they're kind of representing Naseeb, right? But I feel like we need like more upcoming talent out
Yeah,
here.
for sure.
I
And
feel
it's
like-
good seeing up and like what they're doing is they're hopefully they're inspiring the next generation, right? That's gonna come up. So,
But
we'll
you know what? It always comes down to that, like the stuff that they're rapping and singing about. Yeah, it's all fun and games, but influential. I don't know. We're
Yeah.
growing up in a different era, right?
Exactly,
So
that's what it is.
for
sure.
us, like the lyrics that are in the songs are,
we positive
more
lyrics. You
than
want it to be
anything.
positive lyrics and things like
Absolutely.
that, right? So
and not even that, just like influential towards your life. Like you
Yeah.
listen to lyrics nowadays. Like we're talking off air, we're talking about people, mumble rap and all that kind of stuff.
yeah,
It's
no,
like
for sure.
really, what are you listening to? Yeah.
It's a different era now, man.
But
It's
that's
definitely a
weird.
different
It
era.
comes back to even like a lot of it's states based too.
Yeah.
Like it's a totally different scene out there.
It is.
It is,
for
and
sure.
different state varies from state to state. Like you got the ATL stuff, the down south
Definitely.
era type of music.
Definitely.
It goes into like more West Coast into the
But even
California
like
stuff.
so like the players I
LA.
coach and stuff,
Yeah.
it's just crazy seeing like their taste of music is so much different than my taste, right? Like on road trips and stuff, I'll be bumping the old school stuff.
Yeah.
And those homies new stuff that, is catchy and things like that.
We'll be
but it's
playing
just-
something like
it's just
Party
I
Up,
would
like
never see myself.
we'd be in a party bus playing something like Party Up, DMX.
Yeah, DMX,
and
Rough
they'd be
Riders.
listening to like I don't know, like Future, like something like weird. Right?
It's definitely changed, but you know what? That's music.
Music changes
just
every 5
evolves.
years or what,
music
3 years.
evolves, right?
It does.
And then we have to evolve with it. So
So favorite
sounds
era
right.
of music was the 90s.
90s for me,
right?
man.
What about you, Dabble?
My favorite, era of music.
Era of music.
Like
Oh,
whatever.
absolutely
English.
90s. Like you can't.
90s. The golden
It was
era.
a different time. You can't duplicate it now. Like, you know, like we look at some artists that are still relevant in the industry. If you think about like your Rami Ma, you know, Lil Kim, anybody, all these kind of artists are still the Fat Joe, everybody from back in the day.
Foxy Brown.
Yeah, Foxy Brown, everything.
Like they were the originals before like Nicki Minaj.
And
all
I
that.
always think, right? I'm
Lil'
like,
Kim.
hey, wouldn't it be wicked if they brought back the old school vibe? But no one's doing that anymore.
No.
Because generation, times change.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It would be wicked though.
But
like,
you know what?
yeah.
On the flip side of that, like with AP Dillon's new track sampling "What's Love," people are loving that, right?
Oh,
so
yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's keeping the old school kind of alive, right? Where
For people like us, but as times change, you know, we're only gonna
but
get
like
older.
the new kids probably have no idea that's a Fat Joe, right?
They have
like,
no
yeah,
that's
idea.
right. That's what it is, right? So it's
Zero
different.
idea.
Like
They're
we
like,
resonate
oh,
with it because
man.
we grew up to the original song, and so like it definitely is different. It's different.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's definitely not part of their era, but like for them, it's a Namagana, right?
It's a namagana. That's exactly it.
Okay, awesome.
BAG, what do we got coming up next?
So yeah, we're gonna get back to some more music for you guys here. Speaking of newer artists, we were talking about this new artist, Nama artist, Bobadiya Narvar Pannu. You must have heard his
Oh, yeah,
tracks.
for sure.
So either Gane bahut chal there right now. Both of his tracks that he has more than 2 tracks, but both of his 2 massive hit tracks. Ek Gane da, we're gonna play for you guys right now, and we're gonna be playing Salute. Well, we're gonna play them both back to back for you guys
Shot of the
on Desi Mix Radio. Gane Bobadiya, shout out Narvar Pannu Music, Deep Royce. On Desi
That's
Mix
right.
Radio,
We got Nat Parmar
107.7.
in the house. Stay tuned.
That's right.
We'll be right back.
Parmar. And we'll be right back on Desi Mix Radio. Keep listening online at www.desimixradio.com.
You are now tuned into Desi Mix Radio on 107.7 HD2. Visit our website at www.desimixradio.com.
ਗੱਲ ਸੁਣ ਸਿਰੇ ਦੀ ਏ ਮੁਟਿਆਰੇ ਨੀਵੀਂ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਲੰਘਦੀ ਏ ਐਵੇਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਚੋਰੀ ਚੋਰੀ ਤੱਕ ਕੇ ਤੂੰ ਮਿੱਤਰਾਂ ਵੱਲ ਖੰਗਦੀ ਏ ਹੋ ਜੱਟ ਨੂੰ ਪਿਆਰ ਤੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਸੋਹਣੀਏ ਬੁਰਾ ਹੁਣ ਹੋਇਆ ਮੇਰਾ ਹਾਲ ਸੋਹਣੀਏ ਤੂੰ ਕਰ ਗਈ ਕਮਾਲ ਸੱਚੀ ਬੱਟ ਹੋਣੀਏ ਹੁਣ ਤੇਰਾ ਯਾਰ ਤੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਸੋਹਣੀਏ ਆਸ਼ਕੀ ਚ ਪੈਰ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਡਰਦਾ ਸੀ ਐਵੇਂ ਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਜਾਵਾਂ ਪੱਟਿਆ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦਾ ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਰੂਟ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਤੇਰੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਗੱਭਰੂ ਬੰਦੂਕ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਉਹ ਵੇਖੀ ਹੁਣ ਇੱਕ ਪਾਸੇ ਲਾ ਦੇ ਹੀਰੀਏ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਦੀ ਹਾਏ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਬਣਾ ਦੇ ਹੀਰੀਏ ਤੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਬਟਾਉਣੀ ਜੱਟ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਜਿੰਦ ਸੱਚੀ ਤੇਰੇ ਨਾਵੇਂ ਲਾਉਣੀ ਜੱਟ ਨੇ ਸੋਚੀ ਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਫੋਕੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦਾ ਤੇਰੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਜਾਨਾ ਪਲ ਪਲ ਮਰਦਾ ਹੋਰ ਹੁਣ ਫੱਪਣੀ ਨੀ ਅੱਖ ਮੇਰੀ ਨੂੰ ਤੇਰੇ ਜਿਹੀ ਲੱਭਣੀ ਨੀ ਅੱਖ ਮੇਰੀ ਨੂੰ ਐਵੇਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਟਾਲ ਨਾ ਦਈ ਸੋਹਣੇ ਜਿਹਾ ਗੱਭਰੂ ਹੈ ਮਾਰ ਨਾ ਦਈ ਉਹ ਮਾਪਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਲਾਡ ਲਾਏ ਸੰਨ ਗੋਰੀਏ ਲਾਡਾ ਨਾ ਰੱਖੂ ਮੇਰੀ ਮਨ ਗੋਰੀਏ ਅੱਖ ਲਾਲ ਦਿਲ ਨਹੀਂਓ ਕਾਲਾ ਜੱਟ ਦਾ ਸੱਚੀ ਨੀ ਸੁਭਾਅ ਨਹੀਂਓ ਮਾੜਾ ਜੱਟ ਦਾ ਰੱਖੂਗਾ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਰਾਣੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਬਣੂਗੀ ਮਿਸਾਲ ਨੀ ਕਹਾਣੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਅੱਲੜਾਂ ਚ ਗੱਲ ਉੱਡ ਗਈ ਆ ਮੁੱਛ ਦੀ ਹਰ ਕੁੜੀ ਮਿੱਤਰਾਂ ਦਾ ਨਾਂ ਪੁੱਛਦੀ ਪੱਥਰੀ ਦੀ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਆ ਲੁੱਕ ਬੱਲੀਏ ਪੁੱਛੀ ਪਸਤੌਲਿਆ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਬੱਲੀਏ ਉਹ ਰੂਹਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਕਰ ਲੈ ਕਰਾਰ ਸੋਹਣੀਏ ਗੁਰੂ ਘਰੇ ਲਾਵਾਂ ਲਈਏ ਚਾਰ ਸੋਹਣੀਏ ਢੀਕਦੀ ਆ ਪਿੰਡ ਵਾਲੀ ਸ਼ਾਂ ਮੇਰੀ ਨੀ ਤੇਰੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਪੁੱਛਦੀ ਆ ਮਾਂ ਮੇਰੀ ਨੀ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹ ਨਰਵੈਰ ਪੰਨੂ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਹਟਦਾ ਰੱਬ ਵਾਂਗੂ ਸੱਚਾ ਆ ਸਟੈਂਡ ਜੱਟ ਦਾ ਨੀ ਤੂੰ ਐਵੇਂ ਕਾਹਨੂੰ ਅੜੀਏ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਸੰਗਦੀ ਏ ਗੱਲ ਸੁਣ ਸਿਰੇ ਦੀ ਏ ਮੁਟਿਆਰੇ ਮੁਟਿਆਰੇ ਮੁਟਿਆਰੇ
Ay, 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 Billo, ਦੱਸ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਕੀਆ ਪਿੰਡ ਕੀਆ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਤੇਰਾ ਥਾਂ ਕੀਆ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ I got a man, ਮੈਂ ਕਹਤਾ ਕੀਆ ਕਭੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਮੁਝੇ ਨਾ ਕੀਆ She got me speaking Hindi, my brother brought the ratchet in with the bindi He wanna test, get fried like a pindi She wanna dance all night cause she's ziddy Ay, drop it down, drop it down, drop it down She do it so good, she might take home the
radio.com. Mixing with the moves that you bustin' in the club. Oh, Pinky, ab to cheechee naalo patli. Figure teri bottle vargi. Saheliyan ch vaake tu jachdi. Akh taan tere utte rakhni. Oh, Pinky, ab to cheechee naalo patli. Figure teri bottle vargi. Saheliyan ch vaake tu jachdi. Akh taan tere utte rakhni. Go bust it down, Jyotiana. Put it down like there's nothing on ya. All night, got my nigga on ya. Bust it down, Jyotiana. Put it down like there's nothing on ya. All night, got my nigga on ya.
Ay, all night, have my nigga on ya. Shorty do it so good, drop figures on ya. Make it pop, don't stop like the trigger on ya. Hip hop, what now? Get my jigger on